So this month's hot topic is VAT. So with the budget, the run up to the budget, all the questions about VAT, how does it impact on disabled drivers and passengers? So as healthcare professionals, you might find yourself being engaged for private purchases. It doesn't impact whenever you're talking directly to Motability at this stage, because you will still only have to worry about an AP. So that's the first thing. So this is only relevant whenever you're talking about personal use. So we're not talking about business use. We're not talking on behalf of a business for a healthcare setting or residential item. This is where a vehicle is being bought by the disabled person or for the disabled person. Okay, so you've got that. So if this vehicle has been substantially modified and the person is a full-time wheelchair user, so by substantially modified, the expectation is it cannot be put backwards. So for example, I can modify a car and I can do A, B and C, I can put in hand controls and a hoist, but I can take those out and return that to the car. So that doesn't qualify. This is about cutting floors, and this is about actually type approved or registered vehicles. So also the person has to be a normalised full-time wheelchair user, so not someone who is an occasional wheelchair user. So that brings a few things into play as well, because whenever we're talking about the vehicles for people with challenging behaviours that are not wheelchair accessible, at the minute in the interpretation of the law, those are not VAT exempt. So you just need to be mindful whenever you're doing that support work for your clientele. So if someone is a disabled wheelchair user, and that's a full-time wheelchair user, even if they can wheelchair, that's okay. And if the car has been substantially modified, then you can apply for VAT relief. Use VAT 1615A and that will have the declaration. And this is to be allowed only once. Once you've done it, you can't do that again for 3 years. So if that vehicle has been modified but the person is not a wheelchair user and the vehicle has not been substantially modified for a wheelchair coming into it, you're not going to get VAT relief. If in the middle ground you've got a vehicle for someone who is disabled but not a wheelchair, and I'm going here to the gov.uk thing, disabled but not a wheelchair user, then you've got that space in the middle for the adaptation, so you can get VAT relief on necessary adaptations. So if we go back to that vehicle for someone who is getting the higher mobility or has that significant challenging behaviour, but the vehicle isn't wheelchair accessible and the person isn't a full-time wheelchair user, then you will not get VAT relief on the vehicle, but you can apply for VAT relief on the adaptations. Okay, 3 different things. I hope that makes sense. But I will go into it a bit deeper in the workshops and seminars. If you're attending or even that, just give me a wee phone and a query. But everything in general is there on the gov.uk website. Thank you very much.